Okay, folks, good afternoon. My YouTube's playing up again for some reason. Hey, good afternoon. How you doing? Hey, Brick. I just clicked on it and it just wouldn't open for some reason. I don't know what's going on with lately. So, good afternoon, ladies and gents. Hope all is well. As you can see, I've done a couple of trades earlier on. I'll show you what they are in a minute. We have got some news in around about 15-20 minutes time, 2:45. So just get a few more people in. For some reason, my internet is playing up. Not the internet. Hold on a second. For some reason, when I'm clicking on my live stream, it's not opening it, so I might have to have a look at that. It might just be something I'm doing. Let me have a look. Can everybody hear me okay, can they? Yeah, okay, excellent. Yeah, for some reason it's not clicking on my... Just give me 1 second. Right. Okay. It doesn't matter. I'll sort it out in a minute. It's okay. For some reason, it's bringing up a couple of days ago's thumbnail. Oof, that's frustrating. Okay, I'll sort it out, Ellie. Okay, as you can see, I've taken some trades earlier. Can you see any available trades on here? No. I can't see anything here, really. You may have taken that one at a lower high, but apart from that, nothing really. So I'm just going to drag the 1,000 tick chart in. And you'll see things are a bit different on here. Okay, so we had this channel down. We had this little micro break, new high. I took that short there. Gave me 1.5 points. It went down for about 2 points, I think. 2 and 3 quarters. So you'd have got 2.5 out there. 1, 2, 3 touches. Triple test. I took that one. Now, I only took that on one account because I'd managed to get some trades in earlier. I didn't want to, you know, sometimes when you think, hold on a minute, 2 trades in a row, things are a bit too good to be true. And it was actually, the more I look at it, it was actually a beautiful trade and it just absolutely dropped nicely. So there was some clear points available there. That went down 7.75 points. So what I've found is I don't take a lot of triple tests, but I am starting to notice them because they are very lucrative. So once we have this, we add 3 clear pushes, and as soon as we had that clear test, well, you can see, can't you, straight down. So there may have been some stops there. There may have been some stops there. Certainly there, I would have thought, maybe trap in some shorts. But it came down nicely. So whenever we get these triple tests, we seem to get a good, strong push, and then we went right the way to what seems to be the bottom there. So... But you can clearly see that. Nice channel down there. Little micro break. Second entry short. Took 1.5 points on that. And I took 1.5 points on that. I'll just put that back out the way. So you can clearly see there's stuff on the 1,000 tick chart, which there just isn't. On the 2,000 tick chart, that's part of the reason why I'm starting to use it. Because it's just, there's no setup there. You may have taken that. The trouble is with that, look at the size of the bar. It's a 5-point bar. A tick below. I'm not willing risking $550 per account. Times 4 accounts, I'm risking $2,200 if that was to fail. And in all fairness, it's not the type of trade I want to be looking at. But on the 1,000 tick chart, you can clearly see there's no argument there. You can clearly see that triple test. 1, 2, 3. So there you go. So 2 trades already on the 1,000 tick chart. Nothing on the 2,000 tick chart. So So you can, I don't quite know what wrong there. I seem to get a bit of slippage there for some reason, but I had the 4 trades and I took 1.5 off the triple test on the thing. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag it in down here for a minute, actually, in case we're getting any new faces and they wonder why I'm. Let's just put that out of the way a minute. Just going to leave that there a minute. So if you have just joined us, there's probably, it's a bit low at the moment. There'll probably be some more join us soon, but you can clearly see that leg down. Second entry short, 1.5, triple test, 1.5. But if you look on the right here, I took that first trade on all of them. I took 1.5, and I just traded the one account on there because having 2 trades in a row, it was a little bit hard to believe, in all honesty. So I'm thinking, hold on a minute, am I missing something here? It's just that little voice of doubt. What I will say is when you start making money on PA accounts, especially where I am now, I've got $2,000, and I think over the 4, I've got about $8,400 over the 4. A little bit over $8,400. So I'm a bit extra cautious and extra protective. Now, I had those losses yesterday, $370 losses. Now, later yesterday, I came back and traded for a bit, and there was a big overall downtrend, and it came up to the market, and I went short, and it triggered, and I just dragged my stop down to 4 points, and it absolutely tanked straight through my stop. So I ended up, I think it was something like $17 up per account yesterday. So that $300 per account loss turned into a happy ending in the end. It was actually a nice trade, and Mac did market. And it dropped really quickly. It went down about 15 points really quickly. So, I was quite pleased with that. But you can clearly see we've got a channel down here. There's no trade there. You may have taken that one. Mac may mark that, but it's 5 points. Too much, in my opinion. You may take that lower high. The only trouble is with that, we've bounced off this area here. So I think that's risky because we've got a leg up. It could trigger it, and we could have another leg up. As it happens, it came down about 4 points. So that lower high would have worked. But if you've just come off here, I think that's a risky trade, personally. Some people might think it's okay, but it came down an easy 4 points. So there you go. So I'm just going to leave this on the screen for a minute, because if I mark 2 trades later, I'm going to have people sending me messages saying, why'd you mark 2 trades? There's none on you, So, but yeah, you can clearly see that triple test, second entry short. So I'm going to leave that there just for a little bit, just until this news is here anyway. So let's just say a quick hello. Woods, how you doing? Breck, how are you? Exponential, how you doing, bud? Kevin, how you doing? Yeah, you can both hear me, can't you? Exponential, yeah. Groll Daddy, how you doing? Rodian, how you doing, pal? So, seems everybody's okay. So, but you can clearly see there's a difference. I had I think 2 losses and a win, and then that bigger win at the end of the day. So, but the first one I took that I got out for a tick, I just lost a bit of confidence because I wasn't sure about the channel. I would have went for plenty. So there's clearly more setups on the 1000 tick chart. Now, I'm going to continue to do the both for the time being for another week and just monitor the 2. Because someone did say to me, sometimes you can get fake outs. I'm not sure. Sometimes things can go wrong on the 1000 tick. Now, I wasn't quite sure what he meant there, because as far as I'm concerned, price action works equally as good on all time frames. So what I might do is I may message Mac and just say, I'm struggling to get setups on the 2000 tick chart. I moved over to the Thur. I've been monitoring the 1000 tick chart, and there's more setups. What are your thoughts? Am I making a mistake or what? But as far as I'm concerned, price action works equally as good on all time frames. So, what I'm going to say quickly, just for a little bit of an inspiration, I noticed there was somebody put a comment yesterday on one of the Facebook groups, Apex Trader Funding, and I'll read it to you quickly. It's got Some of you need to read this. Also, don't be discouraged. I've had over 500 failed evaluations and over 60 failed PAs. Probably over 20,000 invested in Apex. I got my first big payout just recently, paid for my entire $24,000 investment. Almost that's another big payout now. So my most recent evals and PAs past them the very first time, been consistently green. I promise you, this is one of those skills that will finally hit. It will finally all click. When it does, you'll be the most disciplined and stronger version of yourself. Never give up. So I kind of like reading stuff like that. But yeah, over 500 failed evaluations and over 60 failed PA accounts. Had a recent payout of $24,000 and just about coming up to another one now. So it just goes to show you, if you stick at it and keep trying and keep working, rewards come. So there we go. So news, where are we? We're about 8 minutes away from the news, so I'm not taking anything at the moment. So JP, how you doing? Sam, how you doing? So I don't think I'm going to trade as long today. We're going out to a birthday party. I think at around about 3:30, something like that. So it may just be a short 1 hour today. We'll have to see. So, but I will let you know. And my wife's coming home with her mother at 3:30, 4:30. So it's a case of a quick shower and out the door. So I may only be doing an hour today, but I'm kind of okay about that because at least I've got some green. I'm up nearly a total of $700 thereabouts, nearly $800, $780. Yeah, $770, something like that. So I'm just going to pop that there. It's going a bit sideways now, so I'm guessing that is possibly because we're waiting on this pending news. Fuad, good morning. Oh, something else I did yesterday as well is I did an evaluation yesterday, which I passed. So I think if I can drag that up a bit, you can see the bottom of that. I've just done a micro there. In fact, I might as well leave that like that, might I? Actually, you can see that. So I've just done a micro. I'm about $70 over it, I think. Let me have a look. Yeah, after that, $67. So this is day 2 on that. So that will add to it. That will be 5 PAs then next week, next Wednesday or something. Okay, news in 3 minutes. Hey, Bob, how you doing, pal? Everyone had some green yesterday. Turned out okay for me in the end. I managed to get 4 points out of a trade, which absolutely tanked. Would have got me a lot more, actually, but so I think I ended up about $17 up per account yesterday. So that was a result, actually, considering I was about $370 down at the end of the stream. Okay, news. Imminent. 15 seconds away, so let's see what happens. So if you're in a trade, just be aware the news is about to happen. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to take this 1,000. But anyway, if anybody's just joined us, we had this channel down there. We had a break of it. We came down and made a new low. Now, there's no real setup there. You may have taken that one. The downside, it was a 5-point bar, tick below, tick below, tick above, tick below. It's just too much risk, that 5.5 points. I'd be risking $550 per account. That's $2,200 plus fees. Just not worth the risk. But on the 1,000 tick chart, you can clearly see a lot clearer. We had this little micro with a break, second entry short, I took for 1.5 points, and then that triple test. Now, when I saw that triple test, I thought 2 trades in succession is a bit hard to believe. So I took 1.5 points on all 4 of my accounts, but only traded 1 of my accounts on that because I just thought, am I seeing this right? You know, you start to question yourself. It's not often to get 2 good trades in quick succession, so I was kind of in disbelief. So I just decided to trade one of my accounts. So there we go. So news event has happened. Market slowly settling down. A little bit of a spike, but in all fairness, if you came into the market now, those bars are the same size as those. So you probably wouldn't even be aware we had the news. So let's remove that now. So here we go. Let's see what we're going on. So we've got a leg up there, some sideways, push up, like a couple of legs there, retesting this top, and I expect to get up here on that measured leg. So let's have a little look. So it will be a short day today, folks, about an hour, something like that. I've got a kid's birthday party to attend later, so I'll be jumping off the chart in around about 45 minutes. Shower and out the door. So it'll be a shorter day today. Possibility of a channel there. Touch. Possibility there. So this is where I expect the market to come anyway. We've got a leg up there, and I'm pretty sure these legs are pretty accurate. I'm pretty sure it'll hit my target of up here. But yeah, I did an evaluation. I started a couple of days ago and passed it last night. And I've just, as you can see down there, a couple of dollars lost. It's just a 1 tick micro. So that will get me up to 5 PA accounts come in the middle of next week. I'll tell you what I haven't done is reloaded my historic. No idea why that does that. Okay, possible second entry long. I'll be waiting for the higher low. My only slight concern is I'm not sure whether there's a bit of support there. Trouble is, with these range days, we seem to be bouncing off a different point every time, and it's getting a bit concerning. So, just got here. What trade did I take? I shall show you. I'm just going to drag in the 1,000-tick chart. As you can see, no trades are there. This is the area that I've taken. No trades there. You can clearly see that. Okay. So I'm going to drag in the 1,000-tick chart. And there you go. You can clearly see that. We've got that same channel down. We had a little micro break new high. Second entry short, which I took 6 ticks. And then we had a triple test, which I took another 6 ticks. Now, we had that one. I traded all 4 of my accounts. And then when we had that one, I was kind of in disbelief and I got a bit nervous and just traded one of my accounts. So hence the total of about $770. But you can clearly see that we got this channel down. We had a break of it. Second entry short, which you can clearly see, went for about 2.75 points. I took a 1.5 out of it. And then we had the triple test. And I've got to say, when we have these triple tests, tries 3 times, it just dropped then right down to the bottom. So, but yeah, that's the thing. So the 1,000-tick chart has clearly is shown its usefulness again. So okay, so there was a second entry long there. I'm not a massive fan of that. It depends how you draw this. It's one of those. The trouble is, a lot of these times where we have these ranges, a lot of the times we don't have enough space for top to bottom for these channels to properly establish themselves. It depends how you look at that, see. I had it like that at the time, in which case, and it fitted quite nicely at the back end as well, but we had a bit of a break there. I'm not a fan of taking trades on this first break. I tend to like to find a higher low. Obviously, in that case, we didn't have one. And also on the 1,000-tick, we didn't have one either. It just pushed up green bar after green bar. So, yeah, it is a second entry long, but I'm not a fan. Those 3 bars there, it could trigger you and come down, and it could have a bigger break. And obviously, the trouble is, day after day now, we're hitting a different area at the top, and the way this struggled a bit, and you can clearly see there, and there. You can clearly see there's some support and resistance there. So it is possible we could have a leg down, a break, another leg down, and then try. Sometimes you sort of come back a bit and have another run up. But I saw that second entry break out of that. It's kind of working okay. I kind of like that. But I prefer, and I've been caught out times, I prefer to wait for the higher low. But obviously in this case, it never came. It went without me. So I am saying I don't know whether having this 1,000-tick chart gets a little bit confusing with the 2 at times. So it may be a case. I'm going to keep this on a trial base for the next week, maybe 2. And if I'm finding that it's an absolute no-brainer, that I'm clearly getting way more setups on the 1,000-tick, I will move over to the 1,000-tick solely. I mean, it is useful to have the 2, but you know, I think it's a case of 5 to 1, 5 trades on the 1,000-tick chart for every one on the 2,000-tick chart. Now, I took a trade yesterday, which I got out of, and it would have made me 2 points, but a little bit of confusion glancing from the 2. I wasn't 100% sure how a certain channel was drawn. So I ended up coming out of it. What does your trend channel look like on the 1000s? Actually, it looks worse in all fairness. In fact, let's make this a bit bigger quickly. Let's just drag it in. Yeah, it's not as easy, that one. Well, it's not too bad, I don't suppose. Let's have a look. So we touch. It's better there So in all fairness, it actually fitted better on the 1,000 tick chart, but we had leg down, leg down. Same again, it's not something I would take. That is, I would be looking for the higher low. So, but if you have just come in, you can clearly see this, can't you? We've got that nice channel, which fits perfectly. We've got a break. Now, we're doing 2 pushes up here. So we've got that little micro touch in there, and then we had the break, new high, second entry short, which it went down for 2.75 points. But same again, there's a second entry short there. But the way it's come right back up there has made me a little bit nervous, because what I was thinking is if we got a leg there, a break, this second entry short, we may be getting another leg up. That's why I left that one, because I thought, I don't know, there's something just not right about that. And then when we had this one, and it ticked above both of those, so if you did have a short there, you'd have got taken out. Fortunately, I got out nice and early, but then we had that triple test. And I don't take a lot of triple tests, but I am starting to realise how lucrative that they can be. And I think if I'm going to I'm missing out on these on the 2,000 tick chart, because a lot of the times we see these 3 pushes, and after that third push, market just drops. So it's not a trade I tend to take a lot of. I've stuck to me bread and butter trades, but it is something that I'm going to have to put into my arsenal, because look how effective it is. We touched there 3 times, nice big bearish bar, no arguments, straight down, little bit of a pullback, straight down. So, I mean, that went down, well, whatever it was, let's have a look. That went down 7.75 points. So, obviously, this wasn't enough to push it down. That wasn't, although that came down about a point. But that one, third time lucky, and then wham, down it came. So, for me, it's clearly showing that it's a lot more lucrative than the 2,000 tick chart. That's not to say the 2,000 tick chart doesn't produce some goods. It does. You know, it might be useful to have the 2, but I think I'm just going to keep this on a trial basis for the next week or 2, and just, you know, you've got to be careful, because I found when I took a trade yesterday, I was flicking from one to another. I think what it might be useful to do is to just trade this one, and then when we come back to an area, see, we're not you don't trade up here, do you? We trade here in an uptrend, and then when we have a pullback, this is the area we trade. So what it might be a case of doing is wait until we'll come to an area where we'll usually be looking to trade, and then I'll flick over my eyes to the 1,000 tick chart and then see what shows there, because it does seem like there are more setups, that extra deal. That extra detail. But, you know, I can't see a trade here. That one may have been okay. So you've got a leg and a leg. And to be fair, that fits that nice in there. I've got no qualms that there's a break out of there apart from here. And usually we'll hit a new low, and we've still got plenty of space down to these lows, which we came down. But that bar is a 5-point risk, which in my opinion is just way too much. Tick above, tick below. I'm not risking $550 times 4 on a trade like that. Not a chance on God's earth. So it's a case of just looking in the areas. I mean, if we're an uptrend, we're looking to take trades at the bottom, mostly, for the most. And then what I'll do is just scan this, and then when I see us coming to an area, that's when I'll divert my eyes over and maybe just blow into an area. So if I keep it sort of, you know, if I keep it like this, nice and tightly sort of blown in, then I can use the 2,000 to sort of look for the areas where we're coming in, and then flick over my eyes and then see if it gives us something. But it's not to say that the 2,000 tick chart is useful. Absolutely not. Is useless. Absolutely not. It's certainly got its values. But it does seem at the moment, because things seem to be particularly tough to find good quality trades. I'll tell you what I find at the moment. There are more triple tests, I think, but a lot less second entries. Second entries have really died off, and they're your bread and butter trades. But I am noticing, I was flicking around at some of the YouTube, about some of the Facebook groups, some of the people that post, and there are a lot more triple tests. Got a second entry long on the 2,000. That one there, yeah, I'm not sure about that, because at the time I had my channel like that, which I kind of like. And I tend to, on that first break, I don't take a trade. Reason being is, one, we got a leg down. I don't know whether we're going to trigger and have another leg down, because so many times we'll have a channel up, we'll have 2 legs of correction, and then we'll push up again. And sometimes you get in early and it can trigger and then come down for that second leg before we push up. I always like to, if I'm going to take a trade there, I usually like to wait for the higher low. So, but we've all got our slight different ways of doing things. You know, I don't think there's one shape that fits all. I think we all have our own slight different methods. You know, some people might like triple tests. Some people might love picking bottoms and tops. You know, and some people might just stick to the basics, the second entries. But we've all got our, you know. But I am noticing these triple tests. There was one, I think there was one yesterday that somebody took. Let me see if I can find it. I looked at it, but I let it go because I don't know, I've just not taken a huge amount of them. Who shall we pick on today? Let's pick on Marco's chart. I like Marco, he's a nice chap. So what I'm going to do is just drag this in and show you that clear triple test. There's no argument there. We had this. My own slight problem yesterday is I wasn't 100% sure how this channel was, because you know what I mean, but you can clearly see it coming down. Let me zoom in. We're clearly in a downtrend. This is our first real break. We go 1, 2, 3 times, triple test. What happens after that triple test? It drops like a stone. So it comes down, what is that? What? It's got to be 10, 15 points at least. But first time, same again, the one I took. First time came down for 1.5 points. That second one you may have taken came down for a bit, but the third time, drop. Even that first drop quickly came down. So these triple tests I'm finding, oh friggin', I've done it again. For God's sake. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, this is annoying me, this is. No. Oh, for crying out loud. Sorry about this. What do I do again? Let me have a look. Windows tab. It's that one. Okay, so let's get back to that. Okay, that's sorted that out. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, these triple tests, I mean, the 1,000 tick chart, you can clearly see it, 1, 2, 3, and then drop. Exactly the same thing as I showed you on Marco's chart. Channel down, 1, 2, 3 attempts, nice big bearish bar drop. So these triple tests, when you finally get that third and final test, it really drops. So there's a lot of profits to be made there, in all fairness. What did that go down? I think it went down for about 7.75 points. And I'd say that one on Marco's chart probably went down for the same or more. So I've not taken much in the way of triple tests, but I am starting to be more aware of them. So I'm starting to make them part of my sort of strategy a little bit. So let's have a look. So we're up to the top here now. So there is a bearish bar there. So I don't know whether you take that or not. I'm just okay. So the measured move clearly worked perfectly. You can see where it reacted to it. So that's clearly played a part. So same again. I think this channel's like that. We had a break, a few pushes up to a new high. I'm just going to save something just a minute. 23, 8, 23. So, are we pushing up now? Now let me just adjust this to see if this... That's the trouble. Sometimes they're not as clear. So touch, break. I think we'll have to leave it as the break, in all honesty. It's not, doesn't mean to say it's not going to keep going up. It may well do. Okay, so starting in a nice trend. That's okay. There is a bit of a break here, in all fairness, but we're continuing up. I don't see how I can fit that in, really. I've gone from here, touch, sort of from here, touch, touch, touch. And not only that, you can clearly see it's working in there, can't you? Almost like working in this top tier now. Usually when we go sideways, we go from the top left-hand corner to the bottom right-hand corner, and then when we get a decent setup, it's probably that bar there, we're moving on up. So I'm quite happy that you can clearly see how those few bars have reacted, and then up it's gone. So I think that's okay for me. There's no other way I can drag this that sort of fits it visually. You can clearly see how it visually fits in that channel, so I'm okay with that. Ooh, interesting. Wow. Okay, so there's a lower high there at the top. I think that's going to trap, in all fairness, because we're clearly coming up. Interesting, or it could just be a failed breakout. But in all honesty, if it was a failed breakout, I thought that would have been the one that brought it in, but it didn't. It carried on up. So leg and a leg. Maybe looking for a higher low up here if it does pull back. There is a possibility it could come back into the range, if indeed it is a range. Be looking for a higher low here. So if you took that lower high from this, you've just got stopped out. The trouble is, you don't really want to be taking a shot. I mean, it may come back in there, but to me, we've already tried once. We came back a bit, hit that EMA, and then shot straight up. So taking that lower high, in my opinion, is risky. Because obviously the momentum is up. So I want a higher low, really. Now, my only slight issue about taking a higher low here is it's getting a little bit congested. You can see it there. So I think that is probably worth staying out of. It didn't trigger below anyway, but you can clearly see, look, with the exception of that little breakout there. So I just think it's a bit risky, whatever you take here. It didn't trigger anyway as a high low, but a high low was what I was interested in. But if you look left, you can clearly see there's a bit of congestion there. So that just adds to the risk. Now, it might not make a difference. It might just carry on and rock up, but I think you have to keep that in mind. Okay, so far it's carried on up. But you can't deny that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times it bounced in that area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times it hit a top. So you have to just be cautious here, that's all. It never triggered anyway, and if it would have triggered, I wouldn't have taken it. Now looking, there is a failure, which looks quite promising on the 1,000 tick chart. But as I say, it's risky around here. I'll just drag 1,000 and you can clearly see that. There's a second entry short which is triggered. Now it hasn't triggered above there anyway, but that could go up there and trigger out that stop. But I mean, you can see it there along there, really. It's clearly congested there, so I think it might work, but it's risky. So I'm just staying out of it at the moment. It's finished a doji anyway, so that's fine. The thing is, when you start up, and I'm up a total of about $770, it's even more important than that if you take another trade, because I can finish today quite happily because I've done my job today. So worst thing to do. It's even worse to start off green than end in the red. Starting on 0 and ending red's bad enough, but giving back Yeah, okay. So that failure that's trapping the shorts on the 1,000 tickets look like it's working. But I just don't like how that bar finished. Now, in some failures, it's not as important, but it is congested, so it could screw you. I'm going to drag it in quickly. It seems to be working okay. So there's nothing here, but on the 1,000 tick chart, you can see second entry. We're clearly moving up. No argument. We got a leg back, break, leg back, bounced off the right sort of area where it was. Okay, trying to go low once, try to go low twice. Not only that, they're the types of failures you want where there's a nice big bearish bar that's triggered. Push that, break above the bearish bar, and there we go. So if you would have taken that, you'd have gone maybe, let's have a look. I wouldn't have taken, or would you have taken that? Let's have a look. Okay, it doesn't matter anyway. That never triggered. It triggered after there. So if you went, you may go there. So you're clearly out for your points anyway, depending on what you took. But the fact that it's a bit congested is just making me be a little bit cautious. You can clearly see you got 3 bars back to back. Look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's touching in 8 places there, so it's just cautious. Now, I think it's probably done that because we're at the top of this area where we've been before, and I think there's probably a bit of uncertainty. Okay, a little bit of sideways. Are we going up? Oh, let's come back. Are we going? What are we doing? So there's just a little, you got to be a bit cautious, that's all. Now, if you know what you're doing, then that's fine. But for me, this is just a little bit unpredictable. What I do like is the fact that we've come back here to there, and usually when you come back to these areas, that's when they'll start to move on up again. And after that bar, that might be the one. It clearly worked, but you've just got to look left and just be a bit cautious. You've got 2 legs up. There probably is. There's a leg there, another leg there. I can sort of visually do that. Excuse me, depending on where you went from. Let's go from here. Yeah, so depends where you go from. For me, well, you normally go to your steepest pullback, do you? But you may go from there. But the trouble is, if you go from there, you've got to go from here or here. Going from there just doesn't work. So I'd say, in all fairness, leg up, couple of legs back, leg up. That, for me, is the measured leg. Normally, say if you go from there to there, it's about the same there. So, in all fairness, I would say that is my first leg. Couple of legs of corrections, that my second leg. If you go from there, then this is going to come down to there or here, and we're already above that measured leg. So I don't know where you're going from, but if you're, where are you going from? See, that for me is my first leg, couple of legs, and in fact, where we got that little break as well, that would make sense. And then another leg. So I'd say it's likely we're going to come up here, but that's the thing, really. Trading isn't black and white, and it's very, very easy to sort of, for it to fit, things to fit in multiple different ways. I'm not massively convinced that this is right. In all fairness, just visually, it looks okay. We've touched here. Touch, 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 touch. I think it's okay. It works along the back as well. But this bit that's thrown me, sometimes we'll have a break and then we will continue up. But it doesn't often happen. Usually when we have a break, if it does continue off, we'll usually adjust it and make it fit. But I just can't see what's going on there. But you can clearly see this, can't you? It's clearly, in fact, I'll go as far as to take that up there. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. Let's bring it down a touch. 2 there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can clearly see it's going a bit sideways there. So taking a trade here is a bit risky. Having said that, it did work on the 1,000 tick chart again. The failure, what did it go for? So if you took that one, it went for 2 2.25 points. But I know it's congested on here, which is why I didn't take it. So I think once we start to push again, so maybe second entry long off here. It's just, you just got to be a bit careful. And not only that, not just careful, because we could just have a couple of attempts to go higher and then it'll fail and come back into this range. I don't think it will. It pushed above it with a bearish bar, came around, touched the EMA, and then pushed back up, came down below the EMA, bounced off what looks like, or how I had my channel, and then pushed up. And it may come, it looks like it's trying again, but in all fairness, leg, that might be a second entry long, might be the way, but it might not come down, it might just push. Yeah, I don't think it's going to come down for a second entry long. It's just going to continue up now. I think we're close enough to this channel and to that EMA for it to just for it to encourage buyers to get back in. You're not going to buy there, are you? You're not going to buy there. Hence, we had two pullbacks, but around this area, we've come back once, we've come back twice to this area. So that's an area where I think will spark up a bit more interest from buyers. But once we can get across this area, and above here, I think we'll be all right then. Okay, folks, I think this is it for me today. My wife's just pulling up. We've got a kids' party to go to this afternoon, so it's something I can't miss. So I did say it was just going to be about an hour. So that is it for me for the day. Fingers crossed for you. You get a trade. In fact, there's another failure on the 1,000-tick chart. Anytime, my friend. I'm just going to bring the 1,000-tick in for you quickly. There's another failure there. We've come back, try to go once, try to go twice. Second entry short, which is triggered. I would say that is likely to push up. You too, buddy. You too. But I'm not taking anything because we're going into this area 3 times now. So it's something I'm leaving away. But that's it for today, folks. Sorry it's a short day, but I've got a party to go to, a little kids' party. So short day, but good start to the day anyway. So good start and good finish, $770 odd. So I'll be back here same time tomorrow. As I say, apologise, it's a short day again, but it's not often I take time off. Actually, I pretty much trade full time every day. So that's it. So yeah, you too. Good luck to you all. I hope you get some trades. So that is it for me today. Signing off, early day. And I'll be back same time tomorrow. So have a great evening, stay safe, and I'll be back same time tomorrow. Bye for now.